Hey everybody, it's Adam, live and in person for you. Hey everybody, it's Adam, wonder who he'll interview. Call me Adam.com.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited to be back in the closet where I record all of my podcast and video interviews. Today, I get to speak with Toronto film, TV, and theater actor George Krissa, who most recently starred as Jason DeVito in Hallmark's The Holiday Sitter, alongside Jonathan Bennett, making history as Hallmark's first ever LGBTQ lead rom-com. Now George is coming to New York City to make his Cabaret debut at Chelsea Table and Stage on September 23rd. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Adam Rothenberg, and for the past 14 years, I have been going behind the curtain with celebrities from Broadway, film, and television. With over 1,500 interviews under my belt, I get my guests to reveal the secrets of their lives and careers. So without further ado, welcome George Krissa. Hi, George.
Hi, thank you. Secrets. I don't know if I have any.
We'll soon find out. But let's start with the whole reason that brought us here together today, and that is your Cabaret debut at Chelsea Stage. So what made now the right time to make your Cabaret debut in New York City?
Well, I have musical theater and theater is something that I've been doing for ever professionally for the last, since I was 20 or so. And after doing this movie, I've been kind of introduced to a whole new audience, and I get a lot of messages from people in New York, and so I just thought that it would be a great time to kind of take advantage of that and reach some new people and show kind of the other side of the coin, because I love singing and reaching people through song. you know.
Well, that actually leads perfectly into my next question, which is, what do you get from music that you don't get from acting?
Musical theater and stuff, like it is acting. So like I get the same, I love to tell stories. So I get that same kind of rush and satisfaction from that. But what's different about being on stage versus being on set is when you're on stage, you get instant feedback. You know, if a joke lands, people laugh. If they don't like it, they leave or they boo, or you hear them starting to look through their programs, and you're like, oh, I'm starting to lose people. So there's that connection that you get. Just, when you're singing, you can look into someone's eyes, and there's a real personal connection that a personal connection with the audience that you don't necessarily get through TV and film. Yeah, and what's funny about TV is that it you do it and it's great and you're happy with how it went, you think, and then you have to wait such a long time before you see the finished product, and you have to wait even longer before you can see if it's had an impact on people. So I love being on stage. It's the best.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we are very excited that you are coming to New York City for this Cabaret. Now, out of all the Cabaret venues in New York City, how did you choose Chelsea Table and Stage to be the place to make your New York City Cabaret debut?
The one and only? Well, I saw last year I saw It, the parody musical there. And I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool space. And then Steven Brinberg, who's a cabaret artist, invited me to sing a song with him this past May while we were in town for the GLAAD Awards. And so I got to sing a song there, and it's such a beautiful venue, and the people were really nice, and it was just a really relaxed atmosphere. And because it's a restaurant, the lights are low, but you can still see people, and they're right at the edge of the stage there, so you can again get that instant feedback, and if they don't like it, they can throw their dinner at me. So it's kind of perfect.
Well, I hope you didn't get hit with any food.
No, luckily they didn't have very good aim.
Or you had great reflexes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's put that one. Yeah, I did dodge that really fast.
Yeah. Now, according to Press Notes, this show is the title of this show is Love Notes, and it takes us on a whirlwind ride through the worlds of Broadway, pop, and country music. Now, what was the first song or the first story that you knew had to be in this show?
Oh, what was the first one? Well, so I wanted to incorporate some like a little bit of the things that I've done in the past, and I generally play a lot of romantic characters and the leading men type things, and so I wanted to for people who maybe haven't been in Canada, they get to see some of those things. So I recently did. There's a couple of beautiful theater festivals in Canada called the Stratford Festival and the Shaw Festival. And so I recently did Brigadoon at the Shaw 2019. So I really wanted to incorporate or include a song from that, my favorite one from the show called There But For You Go I. And I called it Love Notes because that's kind of the theme running through all of it is love. It's not like that sounds, I'm going to be honest, that sounds really cheesy. It's not cheesy. It's just a collection of songs that I love and that that touch me and that I think will other people will enjoy as well. And so I'm also including a song from Moulin Rouge, the musical, because Jonathan Bennett and I would sing Moulin Rouge in the makeup trailer at the beginning of the day. So I thought I'd bring something that in. So yeah, like different some different projects throughout my life I'm including a song from.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love that you and Jonathan sang songs at the beginning of the day in your trailer.
Oh yeah, no, he is probably a bigger musical theater nerd than me. He knows all the words to everything. I mean, he dressed up as Elphaba from Wicked for Halloween.
Yeah,
and he knew the arm choreography. Like he's the real deal when it comes to being a theater fan. So yeah, and actually he put the musical on. He put musicals on, not even me, which is kind of crazy.
Oh my God. Now, what do you hope audiences, when they come to see you on September 23rd, what do you hope they will learn about you from this show that they can't get, maybe, say, if they went to look at your website or they went on your Instagram?
I hope that we kind of go on a little journey together. I hope that they feel something, and I hope that they enjoy the music, because I truly, singing is a great passion and a great joy of mine. I went to school for music. That was kind of my gateway into the business. Was I wanted to sing, first of all, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be a solo artist. I'm not going to be a pop star. So the best way to do singing is to do musicals, because you get to sing. And then I realized how much I loved acting. And so yeah, I hope that we get to go on a little journey together and we get to share some beautiful music.
I love it. And what did you discover about yourself in putting this show together?
What did I discover about myself? That picking songs is hard. Like narrowing down songs is hard, because there's so many beautiful songs that I would love to do, and whittling it down to your favorite 12 or 13, but then also thinking about the flow of a show so that it's not 12 ballads in a row that make everyone fall asleep. So yeah, I discovered that I don't know if this is something I already knew, but that it's picking rep is hard. Yeah.
Yes. Now, one artist I just discovered that we both love is country artist Dina Carter.
Yeah.
You did an amazing cover of Strawberry Wine.
Thank you.
Which you have a snippet on your Instagram. I mean, what is it about her and her music that you resonate with?
Well, I'm from a really small town in Canada called Lashburn, Saskatchewan. which and like Saskatchewan is the prairies. It's like the Texas Canada, and so I grew up on country music, and I would take the school bus in the morning, and Strawberry Wine would be on all the time, and so it just reminds me of my prairie days of simpler times when you could just ride the school bus and then you'd meet your dog at the end of the driveway and then you'd go watch some cartoons. Like, wasn't that fun?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and there's just something so beautiful about that song in particular too. The melody, since I was little, has always struck me as really, really beautiful.
Now, with the Cabaret show, is this the potentially like a springboard into something more with music, like maybe recording an album?
Maybe that's kind of been in the back of my mind as something that I've always kind of wanted to do, but it's time and finding the right people to work with, and like I do write my own songs, but I don't share them very often. I feel like so much of this business is putting yourself out there to be commented on or to be reviewed, and I love writing songs, but that's just so far that's just for me, because no one can tell me that they're not good if they can't hear it. So
that is true. That is true. But people also can't tell you how amazing they are if they can't hear it.
That's also true. So yeah. So at this point, like maybe I would record a couple of songs just for I've always really wanted to do some Christmas stuff, like to put out some Christmas songs. So maybe that'll happen.
Well, put it on like your vision board and it'll come.
Yeah,
it'll come
I'll manifest it. I'll manifest it into being.
Exactly. And do you have any pre-show rituals when performing live?
No, I warm up and then that's it. And then I go and I sing. I feel like there's so many ways to overcomplicate or overthink things that we do in this crazy business. And my voice teacher did a show with Maggie Smith once, and he always says that she would always say, "Start before you're ready." So that's what I do. Just start. Just go. Something will happen.
I've never heard that before, but I love that.
Isn't that great? Yeah. Start before you're ready, because then you're like, then you have time to overthink it and then time to plan, and things are always best when you don't plan. Yeah. So, start before you're ready.
How do you celebrate after a performance is over?
Oh, chips. Yeah, always chips. Like, chips are for when you're happy and celebrating. Chips are for when you're sad. Chips are for when you're bored. Chips are for when you're watching TV or in a car. Yeah.
Any specific kind of chip?
I love a kettle cooked. I love a chips and dip. I love a popcorn. I love a Dorito. And then like the flavors therein, depending on what we're celebrating or how sad we are.
I love that. And somehow yet you manage to stay so physically fit.
I work out as much as I do exclusively so that I can eat garbage. And I'm like, I wish I was kidding. No, I work out so that I can eat bad food. I love it. I love garbage food.
That is the best answer. So I do have to ask you a few questions about the Holiday Sitter, because I'm sure anybody watching, if I did not ask some specific questions about it, I would get a lot of angry people commenting.
Sure.
To avoid that, what was your biggest mishap to happen while filming? Like, was there a missed line, a wardrobe malfunction?
Oh gosh,
awkward
missed lines. Probably not that I can remember. Wardrobe malfunctions, no. But we were also shooting in Vancouver in August, and I would have my long pants, a t-shirt, a cardigan, a jacket, and scarf. And it was like, I don't know what this is in Fahrenheit, but it was like 35 degrees Celsius. So it was hot. and I'd be like, sweating through everything. So wardrobe wise, that was a bit of a malfunction. And there's no way to stay cool. It's just how it is. You're just too hot now. And malfunction wise, Jonathan is the best kind of nuts. Yeah. And so just watching him like goof around and play and try stuff and make bits and see if they landed and
Okay. So the last thing I heard was Jonathan is crazy in a good way, and he's always trying to do bits and stuff, and then that's where it ends.
Yeah. So we would watching him like try bits and see what lands and see what people laugh at and stuff. That was the best kind of chaos, I guess.
Was there a particular? Did he play any jokes on you? Was there anything like a really like juicy behind the scenes thing that he did that you remember?
Well, I remember like watching from the monitors. Like I think it made it into the movie, but he was like trying stuff with after we meet for the first time. He's like in the living room and he's like playing with stuff and he like flips over some Christmas balls. And everyone behind the camera went, and so yeah, that was pretty funny. And like that was like one of like 15 things that he tried. I'm sure that there was like specific jokes that he played, but because there were so many, I don't think that I can remember it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I completely understand.
Yeah.
Well, I just have a few last questions before we wrap up. So I have a few rapid fire questions for you.
Okay. Oh my gosh, these make my brain paralyzed. Okay, I'm ready.
Hopefully they won't be too hard. Coffee or tea, and
Coffee.
how do you take? Okay, and how do you take it?
1 cream, 1 sugar.
Perfect.
Or 1 milk, 1 sugar, or 1 oat milk and no sugar. Those are my 3. See, I can't do rapid fire because I like options.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxer briefs.
Summer vacation or winter retreat?
Summer. Winter is terrible.
Yeah.
It's winter 8 months out of the year up here in Canada, and it's a nightmare. I hate it. No, summer everything.
I live
in the wrong place. Yeah.
That's actually it for the rapid fire questions. But
is that it?
That's it. Just a few.
Out for nothing.
Just a few.
Wait, give me some more. I want some more.
Okay. Superman or Wonder Woman?
Oh, Henry Cavill is like my hero. So, yeah, Henry Cavill as Superman.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Batman or Robin?
Oh, Batman. You don't have to think of more. It was just fun.
I could keep going.
Yeah.
But I do end all of my interviews with this question. So my podcast is called Bearing It All with Call Me Adam. So if you could bear it all and reveal something about yourself that you have not talked about in a previous interview, what would you share with me today?
In another life, I would love to be like a professional merman.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I was a competitive swimmer growing up, and I love being in water, and I love swimming, and like there's like people that are actually like this their job to be mermaids and like swim around and like I don't know what they do, where they like swim in the ocean and take videos of it. I just think that would be so much fun to just like swim. Does that sound so lame? Yeah.
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, and the other thing, I'm not at all cool. So that's another thing that no one maybe knows. I'm not at all cool or anything like that. So
oh my God, I would disagree. This has been so much fun. And I do have a confession of my own, speaking of mermen. I mean, growing up, I loved swimming. It was my favorite activity. I used to, when I would swim, I used to pretend that I was Aquaman swimming underwater. And I would be like, calling all my fish friends and everything to come like swim with me and catch the bad guys. I totally on board with the whole merman
Well, yeah, because like I feel like when you're underwater like that, that's as close as any human will ever be to flying. Like that's what flying would feel like, I think, because you're weightless, you can go wherever you want, you can you're not stuck on. So yeah, I think that would be really, really cool. My favorite movie was Splash. Do you remember with Daryl Hannah and Tom
Of
Hanks?
course, yes.
Yeah, and there's a particular scene where she sneaks into the bathtub in the middle of the night and she puts her feet in the water. She gets a tail.
Yes.
I would watch that over and over. I rewind it and watch it because I was like, oh, maybe if I put my feet in the water, but it has to be salt water. But no, alas, they just stayed legs.
Yes. And Tom Hanks is banging on the door. Madison, what's going on?
Yeah, get out. And then she's like, just give me a second. I'll be right out. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to pretend I was Madison too, swimming underwater. And
yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah. I always look over if I'm on a boat or something, being like, is she there? Should I jump in the water and see if she's there? Love that.
She's never there.
Never.
Never there.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been so much fun talking to you.
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you. And everybody listening and watching, you have to come see George Krissa in his Cabaret debut at Chelsea Table and Stage on September 23rd. I will have the ticket link on my website at callmeadam.com, and we can't wait to see you sing your heart out.
Yeah, I'll see you there. I'm so excited.
Me too. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
He'll get the dirt and the scoop and the story, for he happens to be in the know. Just ask anybody who's Adam. Adam lives for the business of show. CallMeAdam.com.